Hola a todas y a todos. Hi everyone and welcome to la clase de español. Today's lesson is called ¿Cómo vas al insti? ¿Cómo vas al insti? Which means how do you go to school? Remember that insti is the short for instituto and it actually means secondary school, more specifically. Okay, so today you will learn to talk about journeys to school, the way you go to school. It might be either on foot, by car, etc. And also you will learn how to use the comparative. ¿Estáis preparadas y preparados? Are you ready? Vamos. ¿Cómo vas al insti? Remember, how do you go to school? If you go on foot, you need to say I go, which is voy, and then use the preposition a when you say on foot. So voy a pie. I go on foot. Pie means literally foot. So voy a pie, I go on foot. You will use that preposition a also with horse, which is voy a caballo. Voy a caballo. So remember, voy, I go, preposition a if you're talking about horse, caballo, or if you're talking about foot. Voy a pie. Perfecto. Now, ¿cómo vas al insti? If you happen to go by bike, I can definitely say this because you know that I go by bike every day. I would say voy en bicicleta or bici for short. So notice that we are still using voy, I go, but now we have a different preposition. Before we were using a for caballo and pie. For bicycle, we use en. I go by bicycle, voy en bicicleta. Perfecto. Okay, so we are going to keep en for some other means of transport. Voy en, try to predict this one. This one is by metro. Do you remember how to say metro in Spanish? It is as easy as that. Voy en metro. Voy en metro. Perfecto. ¿Cómo vas al insti? Voy en, so we are using the same preposition en, and then the word for train in Spanish is tren. Voy en tren. Actually, if somebody asked me, Miss González, how do you go to school? ¿Cómo vas al insti? I will say, voy en tren y en bicicleta. So think about how you go to school and how you would say that in Spanish. ¿Cómo vas al insti? Voy en, do you remember the word for car? Voy en coche. Voy en coche. Perfecto. ¿Cómo vas al insti? Voy en, and the word for bus is autobús. Voy en autobús, or bus for short. You just need to make sure you get rid of the wiggly line on top of U. And the last one, ¿cómo vas al insti? Voy en, and the word for boat is barco. Voy en barco. Perfecto. So I would like you to revise all of these means of transport. You knew many of them. It might be that some of them are new. So make sure you try to memorize them and also memorize which preposition goes before them. So actually the sentence builder is going to help loads. In it, you have the verb to go, ir. And remember, I go, it is voy. Then after voy, you need a preposition depending on which means of transport you use. If it's on foot or by horse, you would use a, and for the rest, you would use en. So for example, voy a pie, I go on foot. Voy en bici, I go by bike. Okay? In English, you also use different prepositions according to the word you use. You say by bike, but then you say on foot. Okay, so just memorize these first two ones with a and the rest with en. All right, this sentence builder also is going to help us to make our sentences longer and more interesting. So we are going to add reasons as to why we choose this means of transport in comparison with some other ones. So, porque es, you know that means because it is. So let's learn some reasons. La única opción, the only option. It might be that you go on foot because it's the only option you have. So you would say, voy a pie porque es la única opción. Pay attention to the pronunciation. La única opción. Very nice. Ok, más rápido que ir a, for example, pie, or en, for example, bici. So you could say, for example, voy en coche porque es más rápido que ir a pie. So remember that ir is the infinitive, that means to go. After done, you need the infinitive. Okay, let's see some more examples, some more reasons as to why we choose a certain means of transport. Más barato que ir en, which means cheaper than going by. For example, you can say, voy a pie porque es más barato que ir en autobús, or que ir en coche. Okay, so we are using this structure, which is the comparative. We are comparing two things. Más verde que ir en or a. So that is greener than going by. So for example, voy en bici porque es más verde que ir en tren. It is greener than going by train. Or you can also use más práctico que ir en, which means more practical than going by. For example, voy en coche porque es más práctico que ir en autobús. Okay, and you can use also seguro with it. Es más seguro que nadar / ir or en a. So, for example, that means safer than swimming, nadar, or going by. You can say, voy en barco porque es más seguro que nadar. In this case, we are not using ir, we are using swimming, nadar. Voy a pie porque es más seguro que ir en bici. For those ones who really want to challenge themselves, instead of talking about you can use some other forms of to go, of ir, to indicate that somebody else is doing the action. So you have the different pronouns and then how the verb ir, to go, changes with the person doing the action. Okay, so if you're talking about your mom or your best friend, you would use va a pie, va en bici. If you're talking about we, you would use vamos. Vamos en bici, vamos en autobús, etc. Okay, so I didn't really go into detail, but what we are doing in the last part of the sentence builder is comparing two things, two means of transport, by saying that one of them is maybe faster or cheaper or practical. And to compare two things in Spanish, it's actually easier than in English. You always use más, more, than the adjective, and que. Más means more, que means than. So in Spanish, you literally say in cheaper, for example, more cheap than. So think about that. Instead of cheaper, think about more cheap than. Instead of greener, think about more green than. Okay? So I colored in the different adjectives for you to see them more clearly. Más rápido que, más barato que, más verde que, etc. You could also use, if you want, menos, which means less. You could say menos verde que, less green than, or menos práctico que, less practical than. Very nice. So let's try to translate some sentences to see if you understand. Please stop this video and try to translate this sentence. I go by train because it is more fast than going on foot. This is a bit Yoda-like. You would say faster, but I really want to stress that in Spanish we say more fast than. So please stop this video and try to translate this into Spanish by using the sentence builder. Do you have it now? So let's see. Voy en tren, you need to use en with tren, porque es, and then more fast is más rápido than going on foot, que ir a pie. It is a literal translation from English. Okay, try to do this one. I go on foot because it is more green than going by car. Do you have it? Voy a pie, you need a with pie instead of en, porque es más verde que ir en coche. Okay, and this was the lesson today. You have loads of information and loads of new adjectives and this comparative form to study. So try to memorize this sentence builder, at least with a boy form. Okay, I hope you found the lesson useful. I'll see you soon. Adios.